The latest leaks and spoilers of JJK has finally is here, and Chozo fans, you are going to be disappointed. You guys are crying because of the fact that Chozo has been killed. Yes, I did not repeat myself. Chozo has been killed because Sukuna, when he activated that flame arrow technique from the last chapter, he was able to aim it at Yuji, and when he shot it, Yuji was protected by Choso. So Choso decided to sacrifice his life to protect Yuji by being his shield. And with that, we saw the end of Choso. But the good news about this chapter is that Todo has returned. Yes, Todo has returned. And it is really amazing because the last time we saw him was after the fight in Shibuya with Mahito. And it pretty much states that his curse technique would not work anymore because we saw him chopped off his hand after Mahito was about to go on ahead and kind of like use his disfiguration technique or something like he does. I'm sorry if I didn't say it correctly, but either way, we saw him chopped off his hand and he pretty much stated that he can't use his curse technique. But in actuality, he still is able to use his curse technique, but it's just going to be very difficult for him to go on ahead and activate it. So yes, towards the end of the chapter, Todo has returned, and we're going to see Yuji and Todo team up to fight against Sukuna. Yeah, so these were the two biggest shockers in this chapter. But in the beginning of the chapter, we see a flashback of Yuji actually learning blood manipulations and the convergence thanks to Chozo and Kamayo. And of course, we already figured out that Yuji was thanking Kamayo before the fight of Sukuna and Gojo. So while he was actually praising Kamayo for being the best teacher, because we see how Kamayo was able to teach Yuji, he was suggesting Yuji to learn the blood manipulation so that way he can stop the bleeding when he's actually used that technique. But Chozo wants to go on ahead and teach him how to use the supernova attack. But Kamayo was saying like, no, the blood manipulation, Yuji has to learn that first. And on top of that, Yuji kind of understands way better with Kamayo instead of Chozo, which makes Chozo really sad because he can't really do his big brother role. So, of course, while that's happening, we continue on with Yuji's training, and it also revealed that the second person that Yuji was able to swap was Yuta. So while that's going on, we go back into the present as we see that Sukuna is about to actually use his fire ability as he's about to launch it. So yes, if Yuji was able to swap out of bodies with Yuta, then that means that Yuji's body, not only that it recognized Sukuna's technique and Yuji is able to use it, but Yuji is able enough to go on ahead and use Yuta's curse technique as well. So this is going to be very, very crazy. So back to the present, Sukuna unleashed his most powerful technique as it stated, because Yorami stated that this is our win. As the narration explains that this flaming arrow technique that Sukuna has unleashed caused a huge range of damage, because if you got caught in the range of the effect of the arrow, most likely you're done. But it pretty much stated that was Sukuna's ultimate curse technique. And the narration explained that during his fight with Gojo, Sukuna, he couldn't really use that technique. So basically, Sukuna was holding back. Like, he was really holding back because this was his most powerful technique and he didn't even get to use it against Gojo. But before the flames were able to actually hit Yuji, Chozo goes on ahead and activate his big brother role and sacrifice himself to make a barrier of his blood surrounding him to protect Yuji inside. But Chozo is slowly dying from the effect of the technique, and he actually apologized to Yuji by saying that he's sorry that he was useless during the training. But before Chozo was able to pass away, we are able to see him and Yuji was able to have a one last conversation towards each other during the spirit realm. As Chozo and Yuji are actually talking, Chozo compliments Yuji for learning reverse curse technique faster than him, as Yuji said that it was due to Sukuna using his body that he was able to achieve it. But Chozo says that it's okay. Little brothers are meant to surpass their older brothers. As Chozo says his last final words, thank you, Yuji, of becoming my brother. As Yuji says goodbye to Chozo, as we can see that the barrier that Chozo has made to protect Yuji starts to disappear, and we see the burnt body and the charred body of Chozo as Yuji is in disbelief and actually pissed off and sad at the same time because his brother Chozo sacrificed his life to go on ahead and save him. Oh, by the way, on side note, Yuji was able to heal his legs. It was around the time when he actually got his leg chopped off, but since he used the blood manipulation and honestly the reverse curse technique, he was able to heal and attach his legs back like it was never been cut before. So just want to just lay that out. So after his brother has been fallen victim to Sukuna's attack, Yuji is all alone as he is staring down Sukuna as Sukuna is walking towards Yuji as the smoke is starting to clear. As the narration says that Yuji convinced himself that he was the cog. No matter what happened, he was meant to fulfill his role. But as the scorching earth heat begins to push him away, he is shook in the foundation of his resolve. And the resolve is to repeat his brother who he had sacrificed his life to protect him. So as Yuji is looking hopeless, as Sukuna is getting closer to him, Todo has appeared in the battlefield to help out Yuji fight against Sukuna. So with the return of Todo's curse technique, he was able to use it to save the people who was trapped in Sukuna's domain. Because of course, when Sukuna used his domain, he used it in a large range. So most people will get caught in it and innocent people will die. So with Todo and Mei Mei help combined, they were able enough to go on ahead and save the people so that way they won't get killed instantly by Sukuna's domain expansion. And Toto, he was able enough to go on ahead and use his curse technique because he will be outside of Sukuna's domain. And that's how he was able to go on ahead and use the Boogie Woogie. And of course, Toto also explained that he doesn't want Yuji to know about the plan because Yuji and Sukuna were two souls in one body. And even though that's in the past, the connections of themselves is strong. So there will be a possibility that their plan would be spilled out to Sukuna. So he wanted to make sure this was a secret. And of course, Yuji did not even know that Toto was here and he was able enough to go on ahead and save the people that was going to be affected by Sukuna's domain, which makes total sense because why Yuji was there all by himself. And the biggest question is, okay, since Toto's here and he was able to move everyone away from Sukuna's domain, how come he couldn't move Choso and Yuji? Well, the issue was that Toto was uncertain of his abilities and the safety, so he couldn't manage to move Choso and Yuji outside because they're both was right in the center of the domain. But Toto actually says sorry to Yuji because he couldn't even tell him the plan and that he could have actually saved him and the other sorcerer. Now, this is where I'm kind of feel let down with this spoilers or this upcoming chapter because we could have gotten a moment of Choso and Toto interact with each other, especially since Toto called Yuji his brother. So we could have actually got a full comedy, lighthearted moment of actually seeing these two sorcerers interact with each other, because how much they actually care for Yuji and how much they view Yuji as family. So I can't wait to see, like, I couldn't wait to see how their interaction is. But sadly, we couldn't even get that, which honestly is just really is just sucks. And of course, the fashion of Todo encouraging Yuji to continue on fighting, as Yuji actually has the motivation to go on ahead and fight. And so Todo and Yuji charge towards Sukuna, as Sukuna has this smirk. And the reason why they're charging towards Sukuna is because that Sukuna is now in a state where it's difficult for him to use his curse technique after his domain expansion. So the chapter ends as Todo and Yuji charge towards Sukuna, and Sukuna is just waiting for their attack. And that's just pretty much what we got from the latest leaks and spoilers of JJK. Sorry if the video is that long. I do apologize. But that's just pretty much what we got from this latest leaks and spoilers. But let me know down in the comment section how you guys feel about this chapter. Are you guys pissed? Are you guys happy? Are you guys both? Are you guys just upset? Let me know down in the comment section. If you guys do like the video, hit the like and subscribe button. And remember, always be decent. This is the Monotone Man. And hope you guys have a wonderful day. Be safe, be decent, and yeah, peace.